Hey, New Jersey, do you need building materials and a reliable delivery? Since 1927, Reuther Building Materials has been the trusted source for contractors and homeowners across New Jersey. From pavers to concrete, they've got everything you need to get the job done right. Delivered straight to your site. Whatever your next project, start strong with Reuther, with locations both in Succassana and North Bergen. For more information, check out ReutherMaterial.com. Now let's get into the episode.
Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to The Garden State.
You're listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
I'm Josh Chomick.
And I'm Jimmy Parks.
Happy first of the year, everybody. Happy New Year 2025.
Happy New Year.
We made it to 2025, boys.
Yeah. And we're gonna do a little recap to start the episode off of everybody's New Jersey plans this New Year's Eve. I want to hear what you guys are up to. But I want to wish the listeners a very happy and healthy New Year. I hope you sang Auld Lang Syne in your living room with all your friends.
We had this conversation last January.
We did?
What is Auld Lang Syne? You guys played it for me last year, and I don't think I've heard the song since.
What? I heard it at midnight.
Auld Lang Syne is just a traditional song you sing on New Year's.
Who sings it, though?
It's just
Normal people.
It's just like an American thing.
Wasn't it like a Dick Clark thing? Like back in the day? Or
No,
no,
it's far behind.
Yeah, way before him.
Okay, hold on. We gotta settle this because last year
This is exactly what we did last January. You guys played it for me. I was like, oh, yeah. And then we moved on with
Auld
our
Lang
lives.
Syne. Yeah, your mom was mad you didn't know what it is. It originated as a poem by Robert Burns in 1788. It's a Scottish folk song. And it's just a traditional part of the New Year's celebration in many English-speaking countries, including Scotland, Australia, New Zealand, United Kingdom, United States, and Canada. The song is about preserving old friendships and looking back on the year.
It's great, guys. I'm glad you guys both sang Auld Lang Syne.
It's a New Year's song.
Never in my whole life growing up did we ever sing that.
It's just because you're barely.
Because you're Scottish. That's why. Because it's part of you.
Well, I am Scottish. I'm also English, and I'm most importantly an American, and it's a part of our culture, my man. So you should start singing it.
It's not American culture, though.
Yeah, it is.
Scottish culture.
Well, Scottish culture. It's a Scottish poet.
Jimmy, do you even sing it?
Of course.
No, yeah, right. That's a lie.
They do play it at the end of when the ball drops. That's what plays behind the ball dropping.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I went to sleep 11 o'clock this year.
I got you beat. I was in bed at 8:30.
8:30?
Yeah.
Jimmy, were you the only one out in living up
I guess so.
the party life on New
guess
Year's?
so.
Are you allowed to talk about what you were doing?
Yeah, I was in Philadelphia.
Oh, cool.
But, however, I do have a story about New Year's Eve that I want to share with the podcast.
What is it?
So before I went over my friend's apartment in Philadelphia, I decided to work from a property that I have down in Camden.
Okay.
And
Listen, look at this guy.
Jimmy, that was so mysterious.
Property I have down here.
Okay, got it.
hello?
Dude, this board. Oh my gosh, wait, now it's stuck on that.
The soundboard just turned me into a
The
robot. Sorry.
soundboard is glitching on us.
We're having
I'll keep it on
technical.
blinks.
We're having technical
All
difficulties.
right, continue, Jimmy. You got
Jimmy,
a
keep
property
going.
in Camden.
So it got dark, and I was locking up the yard. I have a big gate, right? And it's at the end of a dead-end street. And I'm locking up the gate, and I have my Jeep out front, right? Like I jump out of my Jeep, leave the door open, leave the Jeep running, go back to the gate to lock it up. It's going to take me all of 30 seconds.
Do you know what this is reminding me of?
What?
Jurassic Park.
So
This is exactly what happens to Newman in Jurassic Park. Keep going.
So I'm locking up the gate, and all of a sudden, this all blacked out SUV rolls up to the gate, turns off its lights, and I'm like, "This is it."
And wait, like, are you in like
Hold
a
on.
sketchy part of Camden? Like, where are we talking?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a
I
bad
don't
part
want-
of
A lot of
Camden,
areas
but
in Camden you don't want to be in. at
Hold
night.
on. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to understand. You're inside of the gate.
no, I'm outside of the gate at this point.
And,
So
and
like,
are they inside or outside of the gate?
they're also outside of the gate.
Okay.
So I drove my Jeep out of the gate,
Got it.
jumped out of the Jeep.
I'm tracking.
I'm closing the gate. So they roll up, all blacked out SUV, tinted windows, shut their lights off. The door to my, like right next to my Jeep, which is like from me to you, not super far.
Yeah, that's like murder
So-
conditions.
So I'm thinking, I said, this is it. This is the end. I said, one of two things is going to happen right now. One, I'm going to get jumped. Or two, my Jeep's about to get stolen. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no other option, right? So I'm like, all right. Like, so I like turn around and rolls down the window. It is the nicest old couple I've ever come across in my life. This old guy's like,
I thought you were going to say it's like Phil Murphy or something.
no.
I know. It would have been cool if it was someone famous.
Yeah.
So what were they doing there with their,
This
with
guy
their lights
is like,
off?
can you believe the cops have every road down to the river closed off? We're just trying to watch the fireworks. Can you unlock this gate and let us watch the fireworks?
Like,
Right
it's my
there?"
property.
And
Get out
Jimmy's
of
worried
here.
about getting abducted.
And I'm like, I'm leaving for the night, and I'm sorry. And the guy's like, do you mind if I stay parked here and watch the fireworks from here? And I'm like, go right ahead. Be my
Wow.
guest.
I kind of wish you got abducted, Jimmy. I think it
my
would have been
heart-
an even better story.
Yeah, it would have been a cool story.
My heart sank. I said, this is it.
See, we watch too many movies. Most people are pretty decent.
Well, so I learned this years ago when I spent a lot of time in Philadelphia in very sketchy areas and like exploring and photographing abandoned buildings, that for the most part, people aren't going to hurt you just to hurt you.
Yeah, and you learn the same lesson Kevin McAllister learns in both Home Alone 1 and 2. Is just because somebody's a stranger doesn't mean they're a threat to your life. Right, Josh Tomek?
The kid's running scared. He ain't got a plan.
So true.
It's like the pigeon lady and like the neighbor, Jimmy.
Ended
And
up being
that's-
the best people in the movie.
Yeah. They were
People who just needed a friend.
These people just needed a friend, Jim. And you locked them out of the gate. So you're not going in. But that was New Year's Eve you were doing that?
That was New Year's Eve.
Where in Philly did you go on New Year's Eve?
I went to my friend Madison's apartment. She
Like
had
what part of Philly, though?
not Fishtown, Northern Liberties, which is right next to Fishtown. And then we went on our roof and watched the fireworks at midnight. It was great.
Very cool.
So
I used
Eventful.
to do stuff on New Year's Eve. Not anymore.
This is my first year like going to bed early. I've always wanted to do it. Every New Year's I'm like, I'm gonna do it, and I don't end up doing it.
It's nice.
And I did it.
kind of like it.
And I got woken up at midnight to do the fireworks. Like everyone in town was doing fireworks all of a sudden. It was raining out.
I didn't even hear any fireworks.
Oh, lucky you. Lucky you.
The way you said that was interesting.
I mean, yeah, it was loud. It literally woke me up. I was freaking out, and I was like, "Come on! I wanted a good night's rest." And then I woke up, and it was New Year's Day, and it was great. No
So-
one was on the road. It was nice and peaceful. Brand new day, brand new year.
Did we hear anything about the M&M drop out in Hackettstown?
No.
Everything.
Nothing.
I didn't see one article
Did
about it.
anything go wrong?
The M&M drop.
I think it was raining up there the whole time, so probably didn't have a big
that must-
turnout.
True. It
You
must-
know what? You're right. It was pouring New Year's Eve.
it was in certain areas.
Yeah, down in Philly it wasn't.
Oh, by the way, I have a photo right here of the M&M. It looks about 4 feet across, not 8 feet across.
The lentil.
The lentil, yes. So, well, we hope you all had a happy New Year's Eve. It's a brand new year, which is exciting. Any resolutions, guys, for either of you for this 2025 year? Anything you want to achieve this year? Any dreams or goals or ambitions? Or are you perfectly content with your life as it is?
Want to achieve success.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
You ever heard of SMART goals? Specific, measurable,
Yep.
attainable,
Yep.
Yeah.
R and T. I don't know what this is. That's not a SMART goal.
What?
What was the word you used? You want to?
I'm gonna chase success, and I'm gonna get successful.
Okay.
That's the New Year's resolution.
Well, how will you know if you hit that goal, Josh?
If I work hard, if the bank account's showing up, if the investments are working,
Great.
if the credit card statement isn't out of whack.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm off to the right track though.
I think that's good, man. I think it's just kind of like more of a vibe than anything.
Listen,
it feels successful.
Always got to pay your bills on time.
Yeah, that's right.
Always pay your bills on time. It's not hard, guys.
So
Thanks for clarifying.
I signed up for the Jersey City half marathon.
Oh.
It's my first half marathon in April. You guys gonna come support?
Oh yeah,
Will you be there?
I'm gonna be there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then my goal is I'm gonna soft launch this with the podcast listeners. I want to raise money for a charity and run the New York City Marathon.
Nice.
So this half will be the setup for the whole. And when I figure out what charity that is, we'll engage the listeners so you guys can.
When do you have to fundraise by?
Well, I think fundraising opens around March.
Okay.
So I'll have a good idea in March if I'm going to be able to run the half marathon, which I'm running that right now. So I'll probably be good for that. And so I'll sign up for it. And then I think I have to raise until the race day. And if whatever isn't raised by the race day, just charges on my credit card.
But if they know that you are signing up for a fundraiser, you're in.
You're in.
Nice.
Would you consider wearing a GoPro on your chest for, I don't know, let's say 3/4 of a mile of this race?
In Jersey City?
Yeah.
I already got him covered, Jim. He's
Abs-
going to take care of it for us.
Absolutely, guys. Yeah. I don't know what that
I
means.
got very excited for Sobo.
All right, awesome.
Cool. Yeah. I would really like it if you guys could show up and get some cool pics of me.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some cool videos and photos of you.
And I'm going to wave a Garden State flag behind me.
Oh, dude.
So is that going to ruin the shoot for you guys?
No.
So what's a half marathon? We're talking 13.5,
13-1, I think.
13.1.
26-2, 13-1.
What's the longest you've ever ran up to now?
Last summer, I ran 8 miles on a Saturday morning.
Cool.
I felt amazing.
So like, yeah, once you're at 8 miles, I feel like the last 5 are just like, all right, let's just crush
Yeah,
this.
but I barely did 8. I did 8, but I just by the end I was like, all right, that was a lot. I was tired, so I wasn't properly conditioned probably for the 8. But I do believe if I train properly, I'm going to be able to easily do a half marathon. I don't think a half marathon's hard.
And you don't have to fundraise for this one. You're in if you sign up.
I just signed up. I paid and signed up.
cool.
So I'm in. And you
Let's
guys better
go.
come out and show some support. I want a picture of me with Lady Liberty behind me as I run it.
And unfortunately, I don't think you're going to be able to see Lady Liberty from anywhere on this route. I'm looking at the route right now.
Okay, that's
Is
all
it
right.
different than the last Jersey City Marathon?
So this is the half. So I think the full would be the better one. So would you consider waiting until the fall and doing the full Jersey City Marathon?
The last time Jersey
Maybe.
City Marathon was half marathon, it went through Liberty State Park.
Oh, a few months ago, you're talking about?
Yeah.
That was a half marathon?
That was a half marathon.
Yeah, this one, it just touches like the outer edge.
Oh, I wonder if they changed it up.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, if either of you want to run with me, half marathon, it's not too late to sign up. You
I
can
will,
come.
absolutely not, but we will be there to support.
Okay.
I've only ran once in my life, so
So other
You've
resolutions.
only run once in your life.
to time myself, yeah, because Josh, I ran with Josh once and I almost
I thought
died.
you meant like in general.
No, I run, but like I'm not doing it competitively.
I think the thing with you is you've got great cardio. You'd be a great runner, and you could probably run distance.
No, I know I could. I just don't want to. I just don't want to do it, man.
All right,
Put me on a golf course for 4 hours. That sounds so much better.
Jimmy, what are you doing for your New Year's resolution? What's your goal? Any books you want to read? Nothing.
I'd really like to like buy a house or something.
Wow, or something.
Yeah, or something.
That's my other goal. Is I'm going to buy a house this
You
year.
guys should race. Who could buy a house first?
If you've been listening,
I don't
to
think it's a race, right?
if you've been listening to the podcast for more than 2 years, you know I've been talking about buying a house for about almost 3 years now. So this is the year I buy a house. Looked at a house today, and if you are listening, you want to sell me your house, call me. Send us a DM. Can we put that on the story tonight?
Your phone number?
Can you put on an Instagram? Hey everybody, I've been making this podcast for 3 years and I live in New Jersey. Sell me your house. I need a house. Off market. Sell it to me. I'm looking for a starter home. Something simple. I have a family, a wife and a baby, and I need a house.
Help him out. Help this man out.
Sell me your house.
Help the poor kid out.
This applies to any county north of, what counties are south of Union?
a lot of counties.
It's like, if you're Union,
Brother.
Somerset, Morris County,
Middlesex.
Middlesex County.
Not trying to go South Jersey though.
No, that's my family's. I don't want to go south of exit 130 on the Parkway.
Okay.
But preferably Morris County would be awesome, or even Hunterdon County. Call me. If your grandma has a house and you're like, yeah, she wants to leave. She wants to go to Florida.
Leave.
Okay. I didn't mean it like that.
It's interesting
I
where
just
you
mean
put that.
I need a house. Okay? The market's crazy. I'm going to use this platform for once for my own good. Edit this video, post it, and collab post it with me. I have no shame.
Tells me what to do. Like,
Edit it.
the video. Oh, I'm gonna edit this. You're gonna love this one.
Okay, now
I'm gonna go crazy.
how do
with
they
this
reach
edit.
out? Send a DM, text 908-67-99-993. I found you a house. Don't send me a Zillow listing because somebody already bought it if it's on Zillow. I want to see pics, your house, and I want to buy it.
Discount.
Discount. Well, not even a discount. Listen. I don't need a discount.
You'll pay
But I
cash.
don't want to compete with 12 other people.
You gonna pay cash?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course,
come on.
brother. No cash offers.
But what if?
It'd be cool. Maybe that's
I'm
what success
just
looks
saying.
like. Sorry, I needed my
Success.
soapbox moment for the podcast. All
I
right.
just want to be successful.
Josh, so let's dive
Yeah.
into the mailbag now. If people want to call into the mailbag, what's the number they can call?
Yes, we got a number that you can call. And it's very simple. It's something like this.
908 67 99 99 3.
Hey guys, my name is Mike. I'm from Linden, New Jersey, and I think Taylor Ham should be renamed to Jersey Ham. Let me know what you guys think.
That's all Mike has from Linden.
Josh, that's the only call we got this week.
Jersey Ham.
That's all we got.
It's a big hot take
guys,
right there.
we're digging deep into this mailbag. Call us.
Why does he want to change it though?
He gave no context. That's the only call.
Is there anything
A
wrong with Taylor
9
Ham? I think Taylor Ham is perfect.
I think this would create more controversy.
What?
I think
The name change.
Oh, Jersey Ham.
I think what we should do as capitalists and
Hot
people that
piece of
have
Jersey
a New
ham.
Jersey brand, we should make a new Taylor Ham brand called Jersey Ham.
Interesting.
And
call it pork roll?
No, man.
we could just say it's called Jersey Ham, and we're settling the debate where everybody wins. We need more unity, no more division.
I don't think it's going to work, man.
Why is that?
Look, you're dealing with people from Jersey. People are either going to be like, no, they're going to be like, no, it's Taylor Ham. I'm only eating Taylor Ham.
I don't think there's going to be one person who's going to be like, yep, that's a good idea.
Everyone's going to
Really?
be like, no, it's pork roll. It's Taylor Ham. You're trying to unite the people of Jersey, Josh. You know us. We're not going to do that.
I have a dream.
Not all dreams.
Taylor Ham
come
lovers
to
and
life.
pork roll lovers could one day live in harmony.
It's a great dream, but that's utopia right there.
All right, Mike, thanks for the call. Do you guys want to get into the news for the week?
Yes.
And see what is happening? So this week we got a little bit more. Last week's episode was tough. Let's just be honest.
There was two stories.
It was a tough week. Then we got a phone call from Rick from Brick. And we're back. We're back swinging. And there's stuff that we need to discuss that's happening all around our state. Stuff that you should know about.
Yes.
And complain about on Facebook. I'm just
And
kidding.
it's
Don't
going to
do that.
affect you right in your pocket, right in the wallet.
Right in your, yes.
Right in your back door.
So first story of the year. And this, I feel like we've done this story before because we have done it before.
We've done it 3 times before, I think.
We've done it every single year.
And it's crazy to think we keep doing it. So happy New Year, New Jersey. Tolls have increased by 3% again across New Jersey.
Yeah, there's really not much more to say
Crazy.
here other than this is ridiculous.
Yeah, a toll increase went into effect on Wednesday for the New Jersey Turnpike and Garden State Parkway. A 3% increase in the cost of tolls on the New Jersey Turnpike and Garden State Parkway went into effect at the start of the new year. The average toll on the New Jersey Turnpike increased by 16 cents, according to the New Jersey Turnpike Authority spokesperson. Commuters who use the New Jersey Turnpike to travel back and forth from work 250 days a year will have to pay an extra 32 cents a day, which amounts to an additional $80 for the year.
It's a lot of money.
The toll at most Garden State Parkway barrier plazas increased by 8 cents, and the toll at most tolled entrance and exit ramps in the Garden State Parkway has increased by 3 cents. So the toll increase came just days before the planned start of congestion pricing in New York City and on Sunday. So congestion pricing is going into effect this weekend,
It's actually going to happen.
which is crazy.
Jersey's still pushing back on it, but I think it's going to happen.
And here's what's interesting. Under the congestion pricing plan, cars entering New York City's central business district below 60th Street in Manhattan will be charged a $9 toll once per day.
They're really trying to get people to stop driving. And it's obviously not going to happen, but it's going to cost you so much to get into the city.
Yeah, it is interesting to consider that it's actually going into effect. Murphy he gave a valiant effort to shut this down, and he didn't get it to happen. Hochul just made it a little cheaper, and it's going to be expensive to commute in. So there is a burden now on NJ Transit.
And I feel like most people don't even know about this toll increase. Like it's kind of swept under the rug. Oh, January 1st. Oh, everyone's like so stoked about New Year's Day and the new year. They're not even thinking about like what's this increase. And
Well, how many people do you know that drive into New York every day?
I'm just speaking about people who drive on the Parkway and the Turnpike.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Because regardless, no matter where you are, it's going to increase.
I think we've become so content as a society in New Jersey with just the state telling us, here's what's going to happen. We're going to raise your tolls. We're going to raise your taxes. Everything goes up. I say it all the time. It gets more and more expensive. And guess what? Nothing gets better. The roads don't get better and nothing changes. And it's bloat. It's constant bloat. Government is like an ever expanding octopus. Its tentacles touch everything. They want more of your money and more of you. And it's never going to get better. I'm just going to be honest with people. And the shameful part is as these tolls go up, as the state needs more money, we see NJ Transit, the worst it's been in a while. That was president. That was Governor Murphy's, one of his main plans was to fix NJ Transit. And we're seeing a possible strike this month from I think the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers for NJ Transit. I think that's what their name is. So there's just a lot happening around transportation in New Jersey. A lot going wrong, I think.
Is it just me or are they always going on strike? I feel like they went on strike multiple times recently.
I thought so as well, actually.
Like they're just never happy?
Because they're not getting paid.
I think some of the NJ Transit engineers are like some of the highest paid people in the whole state, actually.
I didn't read into this one upcoming. I don't know exactly why they're striking. Is it just wages or?
So this could be a whole separate story. I don't know if you consider it could be interesting to dive into, but I'll read it right now. So it says next year is this is written end of December. Next year is going to see 3 pivotal dates that might lead to the first NJ Transit rail strike in 40 years. So they always threaten, but it never happens if negotiations aren't successful. So the dates to be concerned about are March 21st, 2025, when a 120-day cooling off period ends. So if you'll remember, I guess the cooling off period relates to the last rumors of a strike we heard about when there was issues.
All I'm saying here is the top paid employee was a conductor, made $296,000.
Wow.
The next,
hold on,
but the majority of the workers
a
aren't.
conductor made $296,000. That's awesome. How did he do that? Overtime?
Has to be.
yeah. Then
Wait. That's a whole story in itself. That's amazing. Continue, Jimmy.
Then the next highest paid is a structures supervisor at New Jersey Transit, another $296,000. Third top paid, a carman at New Jersey Transit, $292,000. Then the next one is conductor, $284,000.
So what you're saying is they're not breaking the bank. It's not like they're giving out massive corporate salaries to CEOs and executives.
Then the fifth highest paid was the president and CEO of New Jersey Transit, $279,000.
Okay.
Just want to say here, he makes more money than governor.
So I'm not saying there's a conspiracy of people making too much money at NJ Transit. That's not the conspiracy. I think that New Jersey Transit, I said it a few weeks ago, to catch 22. New Jersey Transit needs more money to fix the trains, and the trains are broken because they need more money, and it's just a never ending.
Yeah.
It's like pouring water into a bucket with a hole in it. That's NJ Transit.
And on top of it all, you got more and more people moving into the state.
Yeah.
Every single day. And it gets more congested. There's more people, there's more problems, and it never ends, Josh.
Yeah. So I know we started with the Parkway and Turnpike toll, so let's go back to that for a second. This is the third year in a row we've had a 3% increase in tolls in New Jersey?
I believe it's the third out of 5, right? Doesn't it happen like 1 or 2 more times?
Yeah, I think that's when we originally started the podcast. Let me actually pull that up. Oh, you want to pull that up, Josh? When we started the podcast, that was the first year they raised them, and then they said it was a 5-year plan, every year 3%. So it might have been 2022. So 23, 24, 20, yeah. So 23, 24, 25 would be my guess. This is the third year that we're seeing the tolls raised to start the year. Crazy. I don't know what we can even do. Do you ever feel as a citizen like you just don't have a voice?
Wow. So 2025 will be the 5th year for the 3% toll hike since the spending plan was approved in 2019.
So it was
we're
already
in our 5th year.
Oh, so when we first read about it, it was already happening. That makes sense.
Yeah. It says, because they said back then the Turnpike Authority said the rate would increase up to 3% each year. And in each year, it's been exactly 3%, which is crazy.
Wow.
So over the last
Shocker.
5 years, tolls have increased 15%. They haven't said when the annual price hikes would stop. So this could be longer. They haven't put an end date to it.
Huh.
According to the Turnpike Authority, they put out a $1.6 billion plan in capital projects, including repairs and enhancements. $1.6 billion. I guess it doesn't go a long way, thinking about how big the Turnpike and Parkway are.
No, I mean, that's not their whole budget. That's adding on to a budget of what they already.
Yeah.
That's just the increase.
But like I said, there's more people coming into the state every single day. More people are getting on the roads. Most people hear about an 8-cent increase, and they're not even going to think about it until they check their bank accounts. But like, nothing's going to get fixed from this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the money goes somewhere, but I think the broader thing is what we talked about a few weeks ago, which this is a hot political take, and I'm not trying to start a political debate. But New Jersey needs its own Department of Government Efficiency. We need a branch of people to come in and just look at what's going on and say, where is their waste?
I think that's the state comptroller's office.
Is that what they do?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
They're not doing a good job of it.
I'm pretty sure.
Can we get is it controller or comptroller?
So it's comptroller.
Am I
is
having
the
deja
person.
vu, or we just talked about this?
Who
did we have a conversation about?
We talked about comptroller while prepping for an episode a few weeks ago.
Dude, it all blends together.
I always forget though who is the state comptroller. That's what we need to figure out. We need to get them on the podcast and say, what are you doing?
They probably can't talk.
No, his name is Kevin Walsh.
Kevin Walsh?
I graduated with Kevin Walsh.
Yeah.
Different guy.
Different one?
He leads day-to-day operations of an office that audits and reviews government programs, operations, investigates misconduct by government employees and officials.
Can we get him on? Can we get him on the podcast? I want to sit him down and say, give me 3 examples of where you've cut cost in dramatic ways. And then I just want to ask him about all the different parts of the government and say, like,
I don't think his job is to cut costs, though.
Well, wouldn't that be investigating waste?
To some extent, yeah.
Well, what would be the difference?
Well, at the end of the day, right, like, it comes down to those who make the state budget. So you have all your, like, finance committees.
So what is he even there for then?
Like, misconduct more than anything, I believe.
See, that right there. We need a comptroller for the comptroller. Give me that job. I will go. I won't even ask.
He's independent, though. That's the thing, though. He's not like...
Meet Kevin Walsh.
He's like an independent contractor?
I don't think he's an independent contractor, but I think it's set up so it's not like he reports to the governor.
So he scrutinizes the legality of public contracts and recovers improperly expended Medicaid funds.
Oh, he's a hotline.
Does he?
What's that at the bottom?
The OSC hotline. Office of the State. Oh, we should call. I'm done. Investigate.
They have a hotline. Why not?
Investigate.
They opened up the hotline.
No, you got to call and be like, investigate the Turnpike Authority. What's going on? No,
Do you think someone would answer right now if you called the hotline?
Listen, you're not going to believe what I just saw.
Call the hotline and see what happens.
There's no way that someone's working right now.
It's a hotline,
I'll tell
Jim.
you what. It's a hotline.
Try it, Josh. Just make sure you open it in a Google Voice.
Josh, can you? So it's 1-8. Guys, here's the number in case you see any government
you could say
waste.
it's not our number.
1-855 672.
He's typing it in.
8477.
Yeah. Just make sure you're ready to go. Like,
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Be a character. Go.
I'm always ready. I'm always in character,
See if
Josh.
this even works.
Hello. To access your mailbox, press pound.
The heck?
To leave a message for someone on the system, enter their number.
Well, they have an awful voicemail.
I don't know. No. How is it a hotline if I need to know somebody's number? That's not how a hotline works.
Please enter the number of the person you're calling.
No.
To access your mailbox,
Josh, hang
press
up.
pound.
I want to leave a message. Did I enter it right?
We're going to get a call back from them
So
tomorrow.
let me ask you guys a question real quick. Is this not a prime example of what I'm talking about?
Hello. To access your
no
mailbox,
We have a hotline in the state to talk. It's a hotline for the OSC hotline, right? And I guess the goal there is they're going to investigate some stuff if it goes wrong. And you can't even leave a voicemail.
You can't even share your voice.
Maybe
brother.
we got to investigate the controller.
You got to go to these open house meetings, bro. You guys just speak up. You have
I
to
want to
show up
say,
in person.
I called your hotline and I got a voicemail.
Fix the voicemail.
Can you imagine if some lady answers like, hello?
I was waiting for hello.
I would love the first question in my mind was, is it comptroller or controller? But okay, guys, so tolls are going up. I don't know what else to give you there.
They're up already. So if you've been driving on the Turnpike and Parkway the past few days, you've paid 8 cents more. Congratulations. You did it.
So this next story is talking about state standards and guidelines. Starting January 1st, the state of New Jersey won't require teachers to pass a basic skills test.
Before we all flip out and like just make fun of this because it sounds ridiculous, what's in a basic skills test?
So I was trying to figure out, is this rage bait or not? And I texted a teacher friend of mine. They gave me some intel, but I'll give you the gist. I'll give you the high level info. So there's a bill A1669, and it was passed by the legislature and signed into law by Governor Phil Murphy, taking effect January 1st. So it just passed. Proponents believe it's both duplicative as well as a necessary change to address difficulties recruiting teachers. Critics assert that its bar on basic skills tests for teachers will negatively impact teacher quality. So what's going on, right? So traditionally, the State Board of Education shall be prohibited. Well, I guess, hold on, let me go a step back. So traditionally, teachers would have to pass a basic reading, writing, and mathematics skills test, and they're getting rid of that altogether.
So like you still need a degree though, right? Like a teaching degree.
You do need a degree.
Like what even is the point of the basic skills test?
What's that?
Like what's the point of the basic
Well,
skills
you're teaching
test?
kids. You should know how to write.
Yeah, but if you got a degree at college, like
You can get a degree without knowing how to write. We have ChatGPT.
for teaching, I guess so.
I think college is borderline useless at this point.
Yeah, but I
think tests are great for that reason.
College was pretty tough though.
Well, you took like Calc 3, didn't you?
No, the calc classes were awesome. I struggled in English.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you probably shouldn't be an English teacher.
Well, that's why I'm not.
Yeah. So that's the point, I think. Here. So the new law explains. Well, actually, let me reread this. This sentence. So it says, notwithstanding any law, rule, or regulation to the contrary, the State Board of Education shall be prohibited from requiring a commissioner-approved educator preparation program to require the completion of a commissioner-approved test of basic reading, writing, and mathematics skills, including. The new law explains, but not limited to, the Praxis Core Academic Skills for Educators test as a condition for admission. So praxis is the buzzword. I texted a teacher friend of mine, and she said, so they're not making the praxis core a requirement for teachers to pass through classes in college, but I'm almost positive it's still a requirement to get your certification, which when I was in school, praxis core was required for me to move junior year, and praxis 2 was required for me to graduate. So I didn't fully understand that. So she went on to say, so praxis was it's an outside of college thing, praxis. I thought it was just like when you graduate college, you take praxis. So it's an exterior course beyond your university studies. And that's what this assessment's addressing. You had to sign up. It's a total of 4 tests, 6 hours. And I would go to a testing center and then submit my scores to Rowan, which is where she went to school. And then they allowed me to move on to practicum. They're definitely taking the courses in college around it out of one semester. I would have one basic skill course, aka writing and arts, some sort of math, advanced history, science, labs, etc. So they're removing the standardized test, basically, the praxis part, and they're just making it get your degree.
Interesting. But like, I wonder if that's actually going to help them get more teachers. I feel like people just are not wanting to teach because they don't want to deal with the kids. It's not being able to pass a test or not.
Well, so if this was just the state comes out and we didn't need more teachers right now. If the state came out, we didn't need more teachers, and they're like, hey, we've realized this test is kind of useless. Like, we've reviewed it, and it just is kind of not practical. It doesn't tell us about the teacher. So in an effort to make a better system, we're going to get rid of it. Okay. But they're outright saying, the state is saying, we have a teaching shortage. So they're getting rid of a barrier to entry to teaching.
Yeah, it's
and
not
it
good.
kind of makes you scratch your head and go, is this a good idea to get rid of a basic assessment through the praxis exams for math, reading, writing?
I think that's like the dumbest reason to get rid of these, just because like they're desperate.
Yeah, I think it's a horrible reason. I think we should raise the standards. Make it harder to become a teacher.
I want, we
And
need the
pay
very
them-
best for our children.
And then pay them some more money. That's probably the critique that people are going to say, well, people don't want to teach because they don't make enough money. The teaching salary thing is so confusing to me because it's not just like the way money is moved around in the state. I'd have to do a couple weeks of research to fully understand for every county and every township how they receive their funding. And it's not as clear cut as just like, hey, Governor Phil Murphy, raise our taxes 5%. And it's like, it has to do with your township, your municipality, and the county. And like, I think it's just kind of complicated.
It's really complicated.
I think also in certain counties, certain towns contribute money to other townships, which is really confusing.
I just don't think this is going to help at all get more teachers, honestly.
Yeah, I would have to probably agree with you. I think it's a cause for greater concern overall. What is happening with our school system? I don't know if you guys have seen. There's a big debate happening around H-1B visas. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
And for the listeners, H-1B visas are when we have high-skilled individuals from overseas come to America for jobs. So it's become a hot-button issue because one side of the debate is saying, well, why would we have people come over to America for American jobs when there's people unemployed in America? And the other side is saying, well, we need really skilled people. These are special people. The reason it blew up is people started looking up the H-1B job board for these visas, and the jobs are not all very high level. There's a lot of entry levels for the roles, which is like, okay, what are we really doing here? Why did I say that? I said that because in the midst of the debate, people began. India was a topic of discussion because a lot of the H-1B visas go to Indians to come into America. And they began showing Indian 7th grade math homework compared to American math homework.
Is it just unbelievably different?
It's incredibly, it's like Calc 3. They're doing like 7th grade. But that's like every country. And
I feel like, most countries are like that.
Is that accurate? I don't know. I've never been to India. This is just, I saw it on Twitter. So who knows if it's true or not. But what I will say is learning standards have definitely decreased. I mean, I don't think it's a cliche, but I don't think it's any secret that if you talk to a kid nowadays and you say, hey, can you tell me what the Bill of Rights is? Like, does any kid know what the Bill of Rights is?
No, probably not. They're like not even learning that.
They're looking at iPads.
Yeah.
So it is concerning that at the same time we have a teaching shortage, which is a big issue. There's schools that laid off teachers last year. We also have an education crisis where students are not being educated. Probably every district's different. Everybody's an individual, but I'd say overall, generally, we're seeing standards decline as a culture. People are less educated.
We need just like a fresh restart here in this country.
I think so too,
Hit
man.
the reset button. Let's just, start from scratch and, let's hope 2025 is going to be a good year because right now we're off to a terrible start.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how things pan out with education. So what happens next year? Well, it already passed. So if you're looking to become a teacher, it's going to be just a little bit easier.
Go ahead.
You still got to go to college and everything. I like tests I like tests and I hate tests. I like tests because they give a clear degree of understanding of information. It's like you either get it or you don't.
That's the thing. I think they're necessary.
English, history, math, and writing tests seems very straightforward.
You shouldn't be going into a profession if you're not good at it.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Now, on the other side, I don't know. I was going to defend it, but if you think about it, if you're like an elementary teacher, if you can't pass an elementary math exam,
yeah, you shouldn't be teaching kids.
You probably shouldn't be teaching.
Yeah, I have no sympathy for people who actually are for this. If you can't pass that test, you shouldn't be a teacher. That's it. Unless there's something around this that I don't know.
Well,
it just sounds ridiculous.
It sounds like they're trying to just make it easier for people to get in and remove unnecessary barriers. I'll give a steelman argument for them. Our kids need to be educated. We have classrooms full of kids. We need more teachers, and we got to get people in quickly. We don't have time for third-party exams.
Everyone's starting to homeschool their kids.
Yeah, I'm about to homeschool you, man.
Sure. What did you even mean by that?
I don't know. All right, let's keep moving here on to another story. What do you think?
Sure.
That's great.
Jimmy, what do you think?
I think it's time.
Okay, great. Let's move on to a different...
I'll homeschool you.
Okay. I was homeschooled, so what are you going to do about it?
That's true.
I actually was. So.
It's clearly could tell.
Until you dropped out of homeschool and went to public school.
Yeah, up until high school. It was awesome. Here's what I will say about homeschooling. going from homeschooling into public school as a high school student, I went to a really good public high school in New Jersey. You realize very quickly public school wastes so much time.
Oh, I'm sure.
I bet.
It's like a joke. I remember being in classes like, what the heck are we doing? This is just a waste of time.
Do you guys still get like nightmares about like missing class?
Yeah, I have college.
All the
I have
time.
nightmares where I didn't go to class for an entire semester for a college class.
Bro,
all
me
the time.
too. Yeah, like I signed up. Like I had a dream like last week about like missing chemistry the entire semester, and I showed up for the last day of class for the final, and I didn't know a thing.
Wow.
And it was a nightmare.
Wow.
But I'm glad that you guys have those dreams too.
You know what the other thing that I'll say about public school is public school has to cater to the lowest common denominator. So if you're in a high school classroom with 30 kids and you're not going to fail 20 of the kids if 20 of them just aren't smart enough to pass. You guys remember there's always the curve. Remember in college you'd be like, oh, the curve.
Yeah, but I feel like even in high school, like I was expected to get A's, and I got B's.
Yeah, but I'm saying mainly for, I think overall in most classes in high school, if you just showed up and did your homework, you're gonna
Probably,
pass.
yeah.
Your teacher would work with you.
I took high school way too seriously.
And I think so my point is if you have one kid in the class that's brilliant, they're a freak genius, they have to sit in with all the regular kids. There are gifted classes, of course, AP courses,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It just was interesting. It was such a vibe shift going from one to the other. But let's move on to some different news, some really exciting news for this weekend. Josh, hold on to your seat, hold on to your
Got my
hat.
trousers.
New Jersey's first winter storm of 2025 may be happening Sunday night into Monday.
Is it actually happening? It's looking pretty good
Is it?
for South Jersey.
Okay.
So if you live in Central or North Jersey, probably not going to get much snow, just straight up. And it's way too far out. Right now it's Thursday. We're recording this to even tell what's going to happen. But it looks like South Jersey, you guys might be getting a little over 3 inches of snow.
I'm about to blow all your minds right now.
Yeah.
Go.
Tomorrow, Friday afternoon to evening, South Jersey, 2 inches of snow.
Isolated, yeah.
Wow.
That's like the precursor. You're going to get this like little system coming through.
So we could see like 6 to 8 inches of snow in South Jersey
But the total.
between these two.
Yeah, 100%.
So let's talk for a second about this Arctic blast that's hitting all of North America.
Yeah, it's going to get cold, Josh.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere's about to get cold. That's the first thing you need to know.
From the north, this Arctic system coming down, just going to blanket the country, and it's going to get cold.
So New Jersey is going to be pretty frigid the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, compared to what it's been the past week.
And we have some precipitation lining up this weekend. It's looking like the storm could be big hit or big miss.
No, it's not like a nor'easter, but it's just a system coming from the Midwest. It's going to pass through Jersey, but the problem is it's a little more south. So it's going to hit South Jersey regardless. The question is how much will Central Jersey and North Jersey get?
Okay.
And right now it's not looking like much.
Is that because of precipitation or because of temperatures?
No, just where the system is.
Okay.
Everything's going to be snow, it looks like.
Got it.
Yeah.
So
So you scroll down, go past that.
I
map.
did see the maps. I like weather maps. They're pretty fun to look at. But the first winter storm of the new year will cross the country early next week. Current trends still have the bulk of the storm in South New Jersey, but there's a growing potential for accumulation of snow on Monday. So, Josh, you're a weather geek.
Mm-hmm.
What do we need to know?
But that Central Jersey is probably going to get screwed over like it does every single year, and we're not going to get anything.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking at right now. But seriously, this is what it looks like, Josh, coming through. If you look at the GFS, see it coming in. So like South Jersey is going to get like the heaviest snow. And right now, the GFS is showing Central and
getting
North
hit.
Jersey getting some snow, but that's like 1 to 3 inches right there.
Okay.
So we might get an inch or two. But if you're living in South Jersey, just know you guys might get 4 or 5 inches of snow out of this thing. Get the snow blowers ready. Get the shovels out.
Okay.
Get the car cleaners. If you're in North Jersey, you don't have much to worry about. Probably the same amount of snow we got like a few weeks ago, at worst, I'd say.
Okay, so let me ask you this: with snow coming in,
Mm-hmm.
I've also heard rumors of a major blizzard hitting
Yes,
us
we all have.
later this month.
Yeah.
and I don't know if the listeners have. What can you tell us about this, Josh?
It all depends on how the system, like the jet stream, lines up with all the rest of the systems. And right now, that's why, like, one weather model might show this giant nor'easter, another model might not show it. And then the next day, that model that was showing the nor'easter, it's not showing up because you can't trust weather models 10 days out. It's just impossible to predict weather like that.
So, best case scenario for those that love the snow, what could we see?
Well, yeah, we could see a few inches. I don't know. You know, the nor'easter actually still might happen a week from now. It's just too far out to tell, and the models are not lining up right now properly. So that's why we can't predict it. We can't dreamcast and freak the internet out with clickbait because that's just wrong. It's probably not going to happen.
So what exactly is a nor'easter?
It's when there's a low that's like right off the coast.
What's a low?
There's low pressure systems and high pressure
Oh,
systems.
okay.
The low pressure system is where the storms come in. High pressure is like calm, peaceful, sunny.
Okay, got it.
And the lows, they go in a counterclockwise pattern. And if you think about it, a low off the coast, the wind is coming from the northeast. Yeah, so that's like when the most powerful part of the storm hits. So that's why it's called a nor'easter.
You see?
It's like a saw blade chopping from the.
But that's why the low, when it's
counterclocks.
right off the water, that's when it becomes the strongest. So that's why it's like if it's like just chilling right along the water, it's gonna
for the northeast,
yeah,
especially
if the
because
pressure goes below,
because it's throwing from the right as opposed to from the left, which would be land side. If the wind is pulling from
it's getting all
the
that
system-
moisture from the ocean.
Oh, I get it now. Okay.
And then when your pressure of the system goes, I think below what, Jimmy, 870 millibars, around that. That's when you get a
Dude,
bomb. That's when you, that's when
I
you
thought
get
it was 865 millibars personally, but
Okay, it
you
might
want
be-
to say 870. It's
Okay, it might be
there.
860, whatever Jimmy said, but that's when you get a bombogenesis.
this is why
Bomb
this
cyclone.
guys, this is
Josh,
why this
we need a
podcast is
bomb.
amazing.
We need a bomb blizzard.
Okay.
In 2025, that's all I want. I want a bombogenesis.
I'm ready for it.
A bomb cyclone. And guys, like I'm probably, if you are into meteorology, I'm just, I don't know much. I just like following the maps. So you probably could just rip me apart right now, but it's looking pretty good. We just need the jet stream and, we need everything to line up properly. And so we can get some snow. That's all I want.
All right, great.
If you live in South Jersey, you're going to feast. And Central North Jersey, most likely not, but just keep checking the forecast. Like I said,
could shift.
We're filming this on Thursday. It could be a completely different storm by Saturday and Sunday. So just keep checking your local forecasts.
What are you supposed to do? Wear your pajamas inside out?
Is that what the kids are doing? I don't
think
know.
That's what we did back in the day
I never did that.
for a snow day.
But it'd be nice for kids to get off on Monday with some snow.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right, let's move on here. In Bridgeton, New Jersey, a woman crashed her car through the doors of an emergency room and proceeded to drive down a hallway.
Right into her room where she was about to head after all her injuries.
Right where she's
not
going to
good.
be. set
I
up.
mean, wow, instant emergency room access though.
Yeah, you think about it. If
Pass right through the waiting room.
If you want to cut out the ambulance costs, just drive your car into the emergency room.
Yeah, and kill a few people along the way, right?
Well, thank goodness she didn't kill anybody.
That's
but
good.
a woman was arrested and is now facing charges after she drove her car into a hospital in southern New Jersey on New Year's Eve, according to the police in Bridgeton. Officers with the Bridgeton Police Department were called to Inspira Health Center just after 11:30 p.m. on Tuesday, December 31st, for reports of a vehicle crashing into a building, officials explained. When the officers arrived, they said they found the 38-year-old April Love of Newcastle, Delaware, had driven her car through the doors of the ambulance bay at the emergency department and drove about 60 feet down the hallway.
Jeez.
A security guard had to jump out of the way to avoid being hit. The driver suffered a minor injury, officials said. Love stayed at the scene, police said. She was arrested and taken into the police department where she was charged with assault by a motor vehicle, endangering another person, and criminal mischief.
Wow. So she didn't even need the emergency room.
No, but
she went
she's
straight to
being,
the police department.
She's being held at the Cumberland County Jail.
So what they don't say is was she drunk? You think? Like was she trying to kill someone? Like wow. Like
Well,
how do you
she
drive
would've-
into the emergency room?
She would have been charged with a DUI, no?
You're right. Yes, and she wasn't.
So maybe something else was going on. Maybe something deeper was going on here.
Maybe she's just mentally troubled. Like who knew? Like it doesn't tell us.
Maybe.
Jimmy, what's your take on this? You're the one who added it.
I just think it's insane, right? Like, what happened here? Like, what happened?
We may never find out. But I will say,
I mean, the fact that she didn't kill anyone is kind of crazy. I feel like you driving through a hospital, there's going to be a lot of people in a hospital.
yeah, for sure.
So that's a miracle.
So it's a miracle nobody got hurt this New Year's Eve. Just a classic Garden State story. I thought was,
freaking from Delaware, dude. What, get out of here.
yeah,
Making us look bad. At least it wasn't someone from Jersey.
yeah. I guess are Delaware drivers known for being bad?
Yeah, they're like Pennsylvania drivers, I'd imagine.
I would compare them with Pennsylvania drivers.
Okay. All right. Now let's move on. That was a quick story. A little quick one. Let's move on to the last story of the night. This is an interesting one. New Jersey podcaster and rapper Joe Budden has been charged after walking naked to his neighbor's front door.
Who is this?
You don't want to approach your neighbor's front door naked in the middle of the night. It's not a good look, and you probably will get in big trouble for it.
It gets more interesting because there's rumors he has a sleepwalking problem.
Ooh.
So New Jersey podcaster and rapper Joe Budden was charged with lewdness, which I love. That's a great name for a crime.
Lewdness.
That was a lewd thing to do. Lewd behavior. That's like such a
Very
classic.
lewd.
Yeah. Lewd, crude, and rude, man. All the same class of word. So he was charged with lewdness after he was allegedly caught standing around naked in the hallway of his apartment building, visible on his neighbor's Ring camera.
Got the full view, man. That's crazy.
The Edgewater Police Department said Monday it received a call from Budden's neighbors after they reviewed their Ring camera footage from December 4th. Of course, they see images of this man and walking around the apartment complex. So the caller recognized the man as a neighbor, Joseph Budden Jr., a 44-year-old male. Edgewater Police Chief Donald Martin said in a statement. The video depicted Budden attempting to enter a code into the door keypad several times before re-entering his own residence across the hall.
So he was trying to get into this person's apartment.
Yeah.
Not good.
That's terrifying.
The neighbor alleged that the naked Budden prompted their Ring camera alert to go off, which sent a notification to which sent notifications that were also viewed by their two young daughters.
Ooh, no.
Why would their young daughters be looking at their Ring? Oh, maybe it's on their phone?
Maybe they all share the account.
So, following Monday's police press release, Budden's attorney, Nima Amiri, slammed the Edgewater Police Department for making the details of the charges public. Mr. Budden is saddened by Police Chief Martin's press release. Amiri told TMZ, Mr. Budden has been waiting weeks for his cross complaints to be processed, which include substantially more serious charges, including a possible felony against the person behind the charges against him. So he's trying to charge them back. The chief has, in our opinion, sat on those, but instead used his time to gain some free publicity for himself. Chief Martin should seek publicity by doing notable policing, not inflaming disorderly person allegations. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. It seems like a weird. Why does he have to make a statement? Why did he come out and make it's like a press conference?
Yeah, I feel like just because maybe Budden is famous.
Yeah,
and
that's what it sounds like.
That's why he just wants he knows this is going to get a lot of press. TMZ is going to jump all over it.
I have another article here, where Budden has previously discussed sleepwalking on his podcast. In a recent episode, he explained his tendency to sleepwalk, which he linked to the December 4th incident. I just sleptwalked somewhere I shouldn't have sleptwalked. You know how I sleep, butt naked. And he said, good naked sleepwalking. I just did it again. So I guess he's trying to make light of it and say, I'm sleepwalking.
Listen.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of believe the guy.
I know. I believe him too. Maybe he was sleepwalking, but you can't be sleepwalking, leaving your apartment.
Yeah.
Especially if you sleep butt naked. You can't be sleeping butt naked, and then you'd be like, I was just sleepwalking. I left my apartment and tried entering my neighbor's apartment.
Maybe it's time for
putting the code in, bro. Butt naked? Come on, bro.
Maybe it's time.
That's weird.
Maybe it's time
to put some, clothes on if you're going to plan on doing this again.
To buy some PJs.
You might have to put some PJs on. Because if you can't control your sleepwalking, and I get it, that's why he said, sometimes I sleepwalk. Brother, you just tried breaking into your neighbor's door.
Dude, I don't want to sleep naked.
And now think about it. Every time he leaves his apartment now, the two young minors saw the Ring footage of a naked man.
Yeah, it's not good.
Weird.
It's not a good situation.
Imagine they both leave their apartments the same time. Hey, how's it going, guys? And after all that situation, that's weird.
So this is my common sense take on this. I think it sounds like the guy was probably sleepwalking. Maybe he was trying to.
Listen, I think he was.
If you were trying to break in someone's house, why are you putting a code in the thing?
Yeah, he was definitely sleepwalking. It's just crazy to me if you are aware of a sleepwalking issue, and it's that bad where you leave your apartment. Maybe don't. I don't know. Maybe is there any way to fix that sleepwalking? I don't even know.
Maybe you
or put clothes on, dude.
Maybe you hook your a leash around your ankle and put a 10-foot lead on it so you can walk a little bit and you get trapped in your bedroom.
That'd be crazy.
That's a good sleepwalking device. See, another business idea I just came up with.
No, who actually wants to sleep with a leash on them?
There was a book I read years ago in college. I think it's called The Power of Habit. That might have been it, or another book on habits. And it described a story in which a woman killed her husband and she claimed sleepwalking. She said she was sleepwalking and she was acquitted.
Really?
Because she had a history of sleepwalking.
Can they prove that you actually were sleepwalking during a crime? Like, is there something for them to test, or no? They just have to take you for your word. Like, how was she acquitted, dude?
I have to find the article. Yeah, the sleepwalking killer. Oh, maybe it was the husband. Yeah, Scott Falter, still racked with guilt over murdering wife.
Oh my God.
It's horrible. I mean, like, I don't know what is going on in your psyche. I'd wonder if people are doing other sorts of drugs, but because it doesn't just seem natural to murder in your sleep.
No.
Something's going on there.
I used to be a sleepwalker when I was like in middle school, and then I just stopped.
I definitely sleepwalked a few times.
But like, it's kind of crazy when you hear about like an adult sleepwalking and leaving their house. Like, that's kind of scary. Like, if I did that, bro, if I left my house sleepwalking, I would probably seek help.
Yeah.
Because who knows what I'm going to do?
I agree. I don't disagree with you.
You could run into the middle of the street or something and die. Like, who knows? You have no control over yourself at that time. So this story is crazy.
Crazy Jersey story. That's our last story of the episode. But hey, guys, so the year is officially off to a new start, and I think I think the news is about to pick up in a crazy way. There's a lot happening.
Yeah.
What has happened in the news in recent? Oh, did you guys hear before we end the podcast? Did you hear that the woman that was lit on fire on the subway was a
Tom's River
resident?
It's crazy.
It's a really sad story. Like, that was her last known address. But they said like she was in and out of like different homes like in the city. So like I think she was homeless. Yeah. But nonetheless, you know, she's from Jersey. It's
very sad.
Terrible. A person was lit on fire in the subway. Like, someone was just pushed onto the tracks New Year's Eve. Like, New York is a scary place right now, bro.
New York's getting crazy.
Then there's the guy who drove through like killed 12 people in New Orleans, bro. Like, what's going on? Every day there's something.
Then he had the Tesla blow up.
And then you had the shooting in the nightclub in Queens last night.
The year started off crazy.
So yeah, there's a lot going on.
Crazy times. But, you know, we just have to see how things shake out. It seems like New York City, something's got to change in New York. The city's getting too crazy.
It's getting really bad.
I'm in New York quite frequently, and I feel you just never know.
No.
If you can't stand on a subway platform without worrying about getting pushed on, we got to restart. We need to hit the reset button, like you said, Josh.
Did you see they got the guardian angels back in New York City watching over the subways?
They are, yeah.
I never knew who they were until I read about them today.
Curtis Sliwa.
Yeah, I never knew like what they did because I heard they ended in 2020.
Well,
now they're back.
They were a big
going.
thing in the 80s when New York was really crazy.
And what they just be like, they're just volunteers and they're just
vigilantes.
Like,
They would just stand on they would just protect people on the subways.
And so now after all this bad stuff's going down, like they're back.
They're back. But here's the thing: should it be the job of vigilantes to have to keep the subways safe? Like, isn't that why we pay taxes?
Absolutely not. And that's why everyone's mad at Adams. They're like, we voted in Eric Adams, but like, look, why is this so bad? Like, our politicians should be changing these things.
Well, we'll see what they do. I think it's gonna. The pendulum always swings.
That's right. Like, if you have a guardian angel and they end up killing someone.
Yeah, you talk to any baby boomer that worked in New York in the 90s.
Another Daniel Penny situation.
They're like, Giuliani. They always bring up Giuliani. Rudy cleaned up, New York. And then it feels like it's just a cycle of big cities. They get really safe and then things get rough and they get safe. People forget. They have like a short-term memory loss.
Yeah, man.
So
that's what's scary. It's like, is it going to keep getting worse and worse? And it probably will. And
if you're there, it will. A menace.
No, I would be a vigilante. I would jump into the tracks for someone.
You're going to beat somebody
Especially
up.
you, little man.
You remember when that guy jumped on the tracks? Someone fell on the tracks. He jumped and laid on top of them.
No, I don't know.
And he protected them.
Really?
Yeah, they had I think they passed out and landed on the tracks.
Oh my gosh!
He jumped down as the train was coming, grabbed them. I think President Obama issued him the Medal of Freedom.
That's awesome.
Or whatever. Yeah, pretty cool.
I mean, like I feel like if you saw someone fall onto the tracks and pass out, you would do the same thing, not even thinking. Like, I feel like that most people would.
Well, I think most people don't know there's enough space under the train for you to lay there, and that's what.
Well, that's the thing. You got to be tucked pretty low, right? Like,
I
what's
think
that?
so.
What's that clearance look like?
I'll tell you right now.
Or it's like if you get stuck under the tracks, you have to like go into like the low well walls, whatever.
Subway train clearance. We're on a rabbit trail before the episode ends. But 1'18". What? 1 to 18 inches. That's horrifying.
A foot to 18 inches.
Yeah, so 1 to 1.5 feet.
Because like when you're laying flat down, what is that, like 8 inches right there?
Probably, yeah. I mean,
Maybe
can
a little
you
bit
imagine
more.
a train skipping over? Oh my, that's like
Maybe a
nightmare. I don't want to leave people with that thought. Think about ice cream and Taylor ham and
Yeah,
football.
but
and
life
fun
is
stuff.
not all about ice cream and Taylor ham, Josh. You know, it's
You're
not
right.
pretty.
It's about getting run over by trains.
This is a real podcast.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening to this very real podcast. We love all our listeners, and we will be back as always next Friday with more of the news you need to hear. Have a happy New Year. Hope you enjoy this first weekend of the new year. If you're still off of work, hope you've enjoyed this time off, and we'll catch you next week. Later.
Thank you.
Later.
You're listening to the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.